throughout a season is to not lose 3 games in a row, because 3 games in a row you're in a rut, and not only that, but it breeds self-doubt.
Yeah.
You're thinking to yourself after 3 defeats in a row, and listen, we've not had 3 defeats in a row, but you feel currently with what's going on, I do wonder if within the camp there maybe is a little bit of a lack of confidence, because you almost feel like there is a stage in every single match where Leeds run out of ideas. And I'm really, really worried about this side of things. I think you have to have a cap on this in the Premier League. Your game management. I don't think we've got any game management whatsoever.
It's a good point, isn't it? And it's this idea of, again, we love the Bielsa days. It's absolutely the best football I've ever seen a Leeds team play. But this idea of, receiving a ball and a one-touch to a colleague, there's still elements of that, and that's beautiful to see. If you're a good enough player to be able to play one-touch football, so that's great. If a situation looks as though it's on, there are times though when clearly it isn't. And then we need to take a hold of the ball and be a little bit more composed on the ball and build something with it.
It's chaos, and it's frantic still. It's still frantic.
It is. It's so frantic. I don't know. And you're quite right. There could be a little bit of worry in the camp. I don't really think there is, because we're sort of like eight games into it, and probably Marsh has taken a lot of that pressure away.
Quarter of the
season. It just makes me wonder what kind of pressure he's going to start to fall under. Very,
quarter
very
of the
soon.
season.
Yeah, it is. And we've got a big game coming up, at the weekend. And probably to put it into context, the game that comes after that, I think it's Fulham, isn't it? Comes after that at home. That's actually a really, really big game, and we do definitely need something from that. It's not. So we definitely need something from it. We need to win from it.
We need to win it. Yeah.
We need to win it.
We need to win it.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the expectations are with some fans, and we've spoken about this when it's the first half was good enough. Like Alan Smith, I was saying on commentary when we're doing the watch along, he was saying our Leeds going to take first half encouragement. We've been in the Premier League now for 3 years. We spent 250 million. I don't want to be going to Crystal Palace. I don't want to be going now to Croydon and thinking to myself, oh, well, do you know what? We've had a good first half.
Yeah.
Like, where are we at? And this is where I'm at, really, with Leeds at the minute. Yeah. Where are we at as a club? Like, what are we doing? Are we trying to finish top 10? Are we trying to finish from 10th to 14th? Is it another relegation battle? Like, what is going on?
Brave words from the owners, aren't they?
Impossible to be in a relegation battle.
Just let it drop and they talk about Europe. It's strange, I really don't believe they think that, if they're being honest with themselves.
Leeds fans talking about Europe. Yeah, you're still getting Leeds fans talking about Europe.
Nonsense. It really is nonsense. You can see the level we're at. It's all pretty worried. I don't know. I don't want to be too pessimistic about it, but I'm worried. I'm getting to the point, where it's.
But how can you not?
It's sort of turning me off a little bit. When it's coming to watching Leeds and we get a live game, I'm not looking forward to it.
No.
3 or 4 games ago, I was really, really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting to the point where there's a Leeds game coming up, and I'm thinking,
Yeah. But that breeds with the fixtures we've had, which have been a perfect start. It's been an unbelievable start for Leeds. Let's go through these fixtures again. We've had Brighton, we've had Brentford, we've had Southampton, we've had Wolves, we've had Everton, we've had Villa, we've had Palace, we've had Chelsea. That is an unbelievable start.
It really is.
So when you look at that, and then after 3 games, then you go 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th game, there's been such a downturn in performance. There's been 2 points in 15. How can you not look at that and think, oh no, like not oh no, and it's doomsday, but you look at it and think, that is a problem, because it's going to get to a point where then you've got Liverpool, then you've got Newcastle away, then you've got Spurs away, then you've got City at home. So that's when fans will start panicking, 100%. This always happens with Leeds fans. They start panicking at that point. But at this point right now, it is clearly worrying. And he needs to sort something out, Jesse Marsh. Something needs to change.
He really does.
Because that's his job. And
one of these phrases that lots of fans come out with nowadays is, it's a free hit. Well, I've never heard. That's nonsense.
In the Premier League, it's
no
nonsense.
Such thing as a free hit.
No.
You come up against teams like Arsenal and Liverpool and Man City. I don't regard those as a free hit.
Got to try and win
a loss is a loss at the end of the day. No Leeds team in history has ever regarded an opponent as a free hit who can afford to go in and lose the game.
Yeah.
So, for me, we've got Arsenal coming up next, Connor, and it's an absolute. We should be thinking about winning that game. That's the mindset going into it.
Yeah. Well, that's how you, like, I know it sounds daft, but back in the day, even, mentioned it the other night, and I know it's a completely different Leeds team, but the teams, I should say, plural, throughout history, you know, when the big boys have come to Ellen Road, it's always been a case of Ellen Road's a difficult place to go, and you know, and also I understand they're miles ahead, but you still do see instances where, you know, the big teams do go to grounds and you know, the teams make it difficult for them.
Yeah, but I mean, look at a couple of seasons ago, Connor. You know, were they all free hits when all 6 of the top 6 came to our ground and none of them beat us?
Yeah.
You know, it's the approach, isn't it, to the game? So, you know, I don't go along with that idea of, you know, when you come up against these top teams, it's a free hit. We should be looking at winning absolutely every game. So the Arsenal game for me is it's an absolute must-win game. You know, we know the Fulham game probably is a bigger win for us, but we need to start picking up wins pretty soon, Connor. It's worrying as well, isn't it, when you look, you know, we've brought in, you know, 4 or 5 players that are featuring in the team or the squad. And we've all said it, every single fan has said it. We're still down in the left-back position. Firpo's injured yet again. And we've still got problems in the centre-forward role as well.
Front.
And we were saying that. We've been saying it for months and months, and we're still in that position where we've got issues.
So for me, when you look at that then, when you look at that in the summer, when you got Kinnear coming out and saying, you know, this, that and the other about the squad and developing youth, and we've got the best youngster in the Premier League in Joe Gelhardt, this, that and the other, but then Joe Gelhardt's out the squad last week for selection issues, and then he comes on with 7 minutes to go the other day. So when you're talking about this best young talent when it comes to Premier League football, that just seems a little bit bizarre. And what you've then got is you're dragging your best centre back, who's done very well this season, to left back. He was very good again at the weekend, scored a goal, but he will be better at centre back. And in my opinion, he goes on about Pascal Strout that much, Jesse Marsh, and how good he has been at left back. He don't fancy Junior Firpo. So then you're looking at Junior Firpo and you're thinking, well, we've invested 13 million into him, and Jesse's. For me, right now, he's proving a point as well. You know, when Firpo even has been fit, he keeps talking about managing him and all this sort of stuff. But Pascal doesn't come out of that position because he doesn't deserve to come out of that position.
He's not developing in his given role, is he?
No.
You know, he's giving him experience at left back, and he's developing in a role that really isn't his role.
Yeah.
He needs to be really putting him in that centre back position, developing there, playing alongside Koch.
He's only young.
You know, we need to get rid of Cooper. His day's done. You know, 100%. and we know Llorente is a liability.
Yeah. Well, that's it, isn't it, as well? Because you're almost... We said all this at the start, didn't we? We knew Strout was going to go left back. It was either going to be him or Yelder, because Firpo was going to be injury prone or suspended or out of form. One of those 3 things. And now you've got a situation where you're partnering Robin Koch with different centre backs, which is going to affect the consistency and the cohesion between the two. So now for me, Robin Koch's centre-back partnership is always going to be a weak link in that back line. So it's either going to be Liam Cooper or it's either going to be Diego Llorente. I mean, there's a lot of people as well who were saying that. I mean, I saw a tweet earlier on, like, you know, what's going wrong with Leeds, and people are saying a lot of it, you can't blame Jesse Marsh. It's to do with individual errors, and I understand that to an extent, but that's the same in every football team, isn't it? It's the same in every football team. There's always going to be individual errors. It's about the coach to be able to figure out a new formation, drop certain personnel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tactically, do something in the game.
The first goal, Connor, that we conceded against Palace on Saturday.
Jesse Marsh, you can't blame him for that, though, can you?
But it's Cooper again, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, he creates a bad situation when there doesn't need to be a bad situation created.
But who selects him?
He selects him.